everyone. Welcome to another session on freshersworld.com's YouTube channel. My name is Krupa Balakrishna, and in this session I will be speaking about what are those essential aspects about you that your interviewer might notice. Now, you might be wondering that you know about this beforehand. You might think that yes, the interview notices how well I'm able to introduce myself and so on. But there are certain secretive things that the interviewer might notice that will be definitely giving out a lot of information about you in terms of your capabilities. The first and the most important aspect of all of those are the time of your arrival. Yes, you might find it surprising, but your interviewers might record the time of your arrival just to make sure how well your time management skills are, how soon you arrive or how late you arrive, and how you're able to manage yourself after you arrive. So make sure you always arrive on time. In fact, it's always better to arrive 5 minutes earlier. The next aspect that your interviewer notices about you is your attire, especially if your job description has the requirement of attention to details. Now, this is something which you have to be very careful about. A professional attire and a neat outlook is very important. Also, if you have mentioned one of your strengths as attention to detail, and if you have your nails not cut, it definitely talks a lot about your skills there. So make sure that your attire and outlook is up to the mark and almost perfect. There has been an instance where one of the candidates had mentioned that attention to details was a strength, and she had just made a mistake in applying an eyeliner. There was eyeliner in one eye and no eyeliner in the other eye. You won't believe this, but this was the reason why she lost that job and didn't get that job in the interview. So make sure that your attire is up to the mark. Another important aspect that your recruiter is noticing about you, secretively though, is your body language. Of course, there are obvious aspects like how you're sitting, how you're standing, and how you introduce yourself, but there are some things they notice about you. First is about how you're crossing your legs, how you're moving your hands, and how you're shaking your head also matters, and how you maintain eye contact is something that they're noticing about. Another aspect that your recruiters notice about you is your handshake. A good handshake is a mark of confidence, and confidence is something that your recruiters are definitely looking for in their candidates. So make sure that you do this right. The other important aspect is your communication style. Your interviewer is constantly observing how you communicate. If you are communicating fast, if you are listening to your interviewer, or if you're listening to understand, and all these also. So make sure you're aware of your communication style as well. They also notice how well you are able to represent your skills in person on that interview. Now, when I say how well you're able to represent your skills, I don't mean that how well you're able to talk about your skills, but how well you're able to use opportunities in the interview to show that you are skilled or knowledgeable in that particular subject as well. For instance, in an interview, how do you think you're going to organize yourself as an accountant? Then you might start off by telling that I'm going to come into office, I'm going to check my mails. That's not what they're looking for. They are looking for how well you know your subject. So telling something like, I'm going to be reading about the latest amendments in terms of accountancy or in terms of accounting aspect, and that's how you're going to be showing them that you are keen on learning a skill that you've mentioned on your resume. So make sure you're able to convert or present your skills in the interview using the opportunities given to you. Another obvious aspect that the recruiters notice about you is how well you're prepared for the interview. They obviously will make you feel comfortable by saying that it's fine, I will tell you about the company and so on, but they are somewhere also looking for how well you know the company, because if you don't know the company quite well, you may not be the suitable candidate. So make sure you research quite well as well. Apart from these aspects, your interviewer is also looking for how well you're able to question them back. Now, questioning skills are very important to most of the roles, so they want to know if you are a candidate who's very submissive or somebody who will question or somebody who will question too much. So strike a balance, but make sure you ask questions and the right questions as well. Your recruiter also looks for how confident you are about the job, and that is reflected in your verbal cues. Verbal cues could be the sounds you make in between conversations like and so on. So too much of verbal cues or too many definitely reflect lack of confidence or lack of preparedness for your interview, and that is not what you want to display. So make sure that you're quite prepared and reduce verbal cues to the minimum, especially in telephone calls where you're not face to face with the interviewer. Verbal cues could spoil the interview as well. So make sure that you keep this in mind. Your recruiters will also notice if you have your own stationery. Now, this might come as a surprise to you, but they are definitely looking at it. Borrowing a pen from the recruiter or interviewer is definitely a turn off and a no-no. So that's about certain things the recruiters are noticing about you. Make sure you have all of these covered and ace that interview of yours. Do not forget, if you are a fresher looking for jobs, do register on freshersworld.com for amazing job opportunities. And also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Thank you.